Welcome to this next class of dynamics of charged particle. In the last class we have seen how the motion of a charged particle in uniform electric field. But in the previous class we have only seen what would be the case if the charged particle is moving in the direction of the field or in opposite direction of the uniform electric field. In this class what we are going to see is motion in a direction perpendicular to the electric field. That means the electric field is perpendicular and the charge is moving perpendicular to the electric field, and we are going to derive equations for such type of motion. Now you can, as we did in the previous case, we can compare this motion to the gravitational field. In the previous case we saw that the object moved in direction of the field. You can imagine an object which is just thrown down, left down. It is moving in the direction of the field. But if I throw the object in horizontal direction, and then the motion or the initial velocity will be perpendicular to the gravitational field. Now the object is going to travel in horizontal direction as well as vertical direction. So it is going to move forwards as well as it is going to fall downwards. The initial velocity that we gave, was in x-axis, whereas the gravitational force or the gravitational field is along y-axis. The object is going to move in a parabolical path. This type of motion you have already studied in last classes. So it is not a new example. Now let us apply the same concepts to electric field. So this is an example. A negatively charged particle having initial velocity ux enters the electric field. Now it is entering perpendicular at an angle of 90 degrees to the electric field. Once it enters, there will be a force in upward direction. The electric force will be in upward direction, that is perpendicular to the direction of motion. The charged particle will start moving upwards, and because it has horizontal velocity also, it will move forwards. So it will be moving forwards and upwards, and at last or after coming out of this field, now this field we have created by using two plates. Upper is the positive plate, lower is the negative plate. After leaving this field, when it comes out of this field, it starts moving. Again, now it has horizontal velocity also and vertical velocity because of the electric force, and it will move towards a screen which is at a distance L from the plates, and it will strike that screen. Whenever it strikes that screen, it will illuminate that screen, and we will know where exactly it has struck on the screen. So this is what we are trying to find out. We are trying to find out how high the charged particle will strike the screen. This is the same principle with which the olden TVs, the cathode ray TVs used to work, and this is the same principle with which your CRO works, cathode ray oscilloscope works, which you have used in the previous classes. Okay, now let us start with the derivation. So before we go in the derivation, try to understand that there is a horizontal component of velocity which will be not affected by the electric force which is perpendicular to the velocity. So this horizontal component of velocity will remain same throughout the motion, whereas the vertical component will change up to the electric plates After the electric plates, it will also remain constant. So horizontal component remains constant throughout this journey. Let the length of the plates be small l and the distance from the plate to the screen be capital L. We will divide this motion into two parts, horizontal part and vertical part. Now along x-axis, the velocity is ux and it may be traveling a distance x in that direction. It will take a time, let us say t, for that journey. So now here there is no force along the horizontal direction. So only this equation will be required to find out displacement and velocity. If we want the time for which it is going to travel, it will be x divided by ux. Let us call this equation number 1. For horizontal motion and for the vertical motion, the time required will be same. So we can use this time to replace in equations. So along x-axis there is nothing much happening, only there is constant velocity that we can use to find time, how much time it will take to travel through this field. Now along y-axis there is electrical force, so velocity, if we want to find, that is y component of velocity, it will be initial velocity plus a into t. Now initial velocity along y-axis is 0. Initially it was not traveling along y-axis, it was traveling along x-axis. And acceleration we know is eq by m. This we have derived in the previous class, it is eq by m. And time we will take from the equation number 1, which is x divided by ux, because again time will be same for horizontal as well as vertical motion. So now we can write uy is equal to eq by m, that is acceleration into time, that is x by ux. Let us call this equation number 2. So now we have an equation for the vertical component of the velocity. Now let us try to find out equation for displacement. Again we know for displacement along y-axis. Now see, the displacement is also along y-axis is in two parts. What are the two parts? When it is traveling between these plates, there will be force on this particle, and let us say that it will cause a displacement y1. The force will cause a displacement y1. But once it leaves the field, the horizontal component is constant as well as vertical component is also constant. Now there is no force acting on this particle. So both components are constant and the displacement caused because of this will be y2. So y1 is under force and y2 there is no force along x-axis as well as along y-axis, whereas y1 is x-axis there is no force, y-axis there is electrostatic force. So we need to divide the vertical motion also in two parts, y1 and y2. y1 is when the particle is traveling between the plates. At that time there will be an upward force. Once it leaves these plates, then there is no force on this particle. So first we will be finding out y1 we know the equation for this, it is ut plus 1/2 at square, and we know that u, initial velocity along y-axis, is 0. Let us just call this u0, the initial velocity is 0. T we know is x divided by ux, acceleration is eq by m. So the first term will be 0 and there will be only one term, that is 1 half a, that is eq by m into t square, that is x square by ux square. Let us call this equation number 3. Now this equation is for the displacement. It will also tell us about the path of the particle. Now see, in this eq by m and ux square, this all things are constant. Even that 2 is also constant. All these things are constant. So we can write y1 is equal to, let us call this constant as a into x square, a into x square. Now from this we can understand it is the nature of the path. The nature of the path will be parabola, since it is x square, not x. If it was x, it will be a straight line. Since it is an x, the path will be parabola. Therefore the path is a parabola. So from this we understand the path is a parabola. Now when the particle is traveling along in the electric field, it will be making some angle with the x-axis. Let us see it in the diagram. It will be making an angle with the x-axis. Let us call this angle as psi. This is the angle that I am talking about. Okay, this is the angle that I am talking about. This angle is psi, and we can find this angle. Let this angle that it makes with the x-axis is psi at any instance of time. Now, so this angle we can easily find as tan psi is equal to dy by dt. This angle will be continuously changing at every instance of time, and psi is the value of that angle at any instance. So this tan psi will be dy by dt. Now what is y we know. So y1 we have already found out, that is 1 half eq m x square divided by ux square. Let us write this value, 1 half eq by m x square divided by ux square. Let us substitute this value. So tan psi will be d of dt of this whole term, half eq by m into x square by ux square. Now most of this term are constant. Let us bring the constant outside. Half is constant, eq is constant, m is constant, even ux square is also constant. So we will have d by dt of only x square. Now d by differentiation of x square will give us 1 half eq by m ux square into 2x. We can cancel this 2, and that means the tan of this side, or the tan of the angle at any instance, will be eq by m ux square upon x. Let us call this equation number 4. Now this tan will be for the angle at any instance in the electric field when the particle is in between the plates. But once it leaves the field, the angle will become constant. Let us call it theta. It will not change after it has left the field, and x will become L, the length of the plates. So this tan theta, sorry, this tan, yes, tan theta will be 1/2, sorry, not 1/2, eq by m into, in place of x we will have to put L by ux square. Let us call this equation number 5. Now this is the equation for the angle. Now once, if you look at the diagram, once it leaves the field, it has two components of velocity. One is the horizontal component ux and one is the vertical component uy. Both these components now will be constant, and there will be a right angle triangle. There will be a right angle triangle where this angle theta is there. There will be a right angle triangle with y2 L, y2, this side will be L, this side will be y2, and now this angle will be constant, it will be not changing. So we can find this angle in another way, that is, if you consider that triangle, we have L on this side, y2 on this side. This is the angle theta. This component is uy, and there will be a horizontal component ux. Both these components will be constant, so the angle theta will be also constant. So we can also write tan theta is equal to y2 divided by L, or we can write y2 is equal to L tan theta, L into tan theta. Let us call this equation number 6. Now we have equation for y1 also and equation for y2 also. So now we can easily find the total displacement of that particle, that is y1 plus y2, and this y1 plus y2 will tell us exactly where the charged particle will hit the screen, So the total displacement along y-axis will be y1 plus y2. y1 we know is 1/2 eq by m into x square divided by ux square plus y2. y2 is L tan theta, Now we will try to replace these values. X will be equal to small l, that is the length of the plate, because y1 is the displacement in the electric field and y2 is the displacement outside the field. In the electric field, it will travel along the length of that plate, that is small l. And this tan theta also we have found out. Tan theta is equal to eq by m. Let me see what is eq by m, L divided by ux square, L divided by ux square. Now let us replace these values. So we will get y is equal to y1. y1 is 1/2 eq by m L square by ux square plus L tan theta, that is eq by m into L into u divided by ux square. Now lot of things are common here. eq by m is common, L is common, ux square is common, inside the bracket L by 2 plus capital L will be left. Now we can take LCM EQ by L divided by 2m square. So we'll take this LCM, it will be L plus 2L. This will be an equation for total displacement of the particle. So whenever a charged particle is traveling perpendicular to the electric field, this is the equation for the total displacement. That means displacement in the field as well as outside the field, and it will tell us exactly where the particle will hit the screen. We have to be careful about using y1 and y2 because y1 is the displacement in the field whereas y2 is the displacement outside the field. So this is about the motion of the charged particle in a perpendicular electric field. That means initial velocity is perpendicular to the direction of electric field. Now we know the motion in perpendicular direction as well as in the direction of the electric field. Using these two equations we can find the motion in along any direction. Suppose that the initial velocity is making an angle theta with the electric field. We can divide this into two components, in the direction of the field and perpendicular to the direction of the field, and find out the answers. Thank you.